right, welcome on into the podcast. I'm Brett.
I'm Dorian.
And make sure you guys subscribe if you're not already. I know a lot of you who have watched aren't. So make sure you hit that subscribe, ring that bell for the notifications so you can know when we're uploading content. Also, if you are just a podcast listener on, Apple, Google, all that stuff, make sure you subscribe to that as well. Leave a review.
Yeah.
So we got some nerd news for you guys. Dorian, what do we got?
Well, we're going to be talking about the
bacon.
Yeah, we got quite a bit of bacon here. So we're going to be talking about the latest Nintendo Direct and the implications for Nintendo's future with that. We're also going to be talking about the Assassin's Creed show that is going to be coming to Netflix. We're also going to be talking about Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, Matthew McConaughey as the Hulk. But first things first, Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's delayed.
Called it.
Yeah.
So CD Projekt Red earlier this week came out and said that it's going to be pushed back to December 10th. And which is kind of funny because I want to say about a month ago, roughly, they said that this game has gone gold. No more delays, nothing. But essentially what they're saying is they need more time to get every version of this game running. So we're talking about
every console,
every
version of the console.
Every version of the console. So we're talking like PS4, PS4 Pro, PS5, PS5 Digital, and all the
we get it.
All the other models of Xbox.
Too many models.
Too many models. So obviously this is really weird just because typically or traditionally when a company puts out a statement saying this game has gone gold, that's it. There's nothing left to it here. But now this is kind of, I don't know. I think this might be the first time where we've seen a game be announced that it's gone gold. There's no more delays. And then
there's a delay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we'll even see this in December, to be honest.
I would not put my chips on this here, to be honest with you, just because this game, I mean, here's the thing. Is last year they brought Keanu out on stage at E3 to announce that this game was coming out in April. We're in October now here. Actually, as of this going up, this will be November. So, yeah, so this game has had, a decent amount of pushback. So, I'd be surprised if it comes out December, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what this even means. I'm not going to play this game probably, so.
I'll probably check it out a little bit. I mean, I don't know how deep I will get into it. I'll probably rent it at first and kind of see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about Final Fantasy a little bit. So Final Fantasy 16 has some new details. Mm-hmm. It came out with the name of the world it's taking place in, right?
Yeah, it's called
Valisthea,
I want to say. I mean, we won't know until we actually hear them actually use the word in the actual video game here, probably in terms of pronunciation. But basically what it is some basic storyline. So it's going to be a war taking place over these colossal mountain-sized crystals. They're used as a magical resource that people can channel for magical powers and also other stuff as well. There are 6 nations involved in this war, so it's very kind of Game of Thronesy.
Avatar.
Yeah, I mean, +2.
The Fire Nation.
Yeah. But and each nation is going to have one person known as a dominant that can use these huge summons that we saw in the trailer where they're massive and giant and all that.
Oh.
So I'm definitely interested to see how this game shapes up. I know this is just kind of the basic plot points. There are more details that you guys can look into on the website or whatnot in terms of the specifics of each kingdom. But we're getting a steady flow of information from this game, it seems like here. So kind of seems to suggest that this is going to be coming out sooner than later, at least in terms of typical news cycle flow here. I
mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm guessing, because what did they say, 2022?
I don't know if they've put an actual date on this yet. I want to say, yeah, I can't remember whether or not they put an actual date, but I would imagine either late 2021, early 2022, somewhere around there.
Yeah. No, it sounds good. Something else that has been good is Fortnite and Marvel's collaborating.
Yeah.
Their collaboration has, kind of brought some new juice to Fortnite for some people.
Mm-hmm.
For me specifically, because, I don't really play it that much. We only play it, I think, when we're playing together, really.
Pretty much, yeah.
But,
it's like the one game we all own here for the most part.
So, and it's free.
Yeah.
I have the battle pass, but that was because I wanted all the Marvel skins that have been coming out, which those have been pretty cool.
Yeah. And also the addition of new locations and also powers that are
equipable.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been pretty fun just to play that. Even the robots that come into the fray with the Stark Tech stuff. But anyway, Fortnite is going to have many years of collaboration, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. No. Basically, Donald Mustard, Epic Games Worldwide Studio Creative Director, basically said that this whole collaboration, this is just the beginning. And makes sense because Fortnite is the most successful video game, if not one of the most successful video games out there right now. And also, it's pairing up with the most successful movie franchise at this point in time. It's like, why wouldn't you combine your powers to make more money here?
Yeah, and I just it's not like you got to pay all this extra money to have these skins. It's, hey, you get the battle pass, and as long as you progress, you're gonna get a lot of skins for Marvel.
Well, it's one of those things where it's I think it's kind of where you are at with this. It's like everybody wants to collab with Fortnite. You have DC collabing with Fortnite. You have Star Wars collabing with Fortnite. You have music artists putting their songs in the radio.
You have the Tenet trailer.
You had the Tenet trailer, exactly. I think people are realizing that Fortnite is not just a game. It's a platform to, get your stuff known or get your product or franchise out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That McDonald's.
Yep.
Because for whatever reason, music artists are all about McDonald's.
Really?
I don't know. That's the commercials I've seen.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But anyway, I'm excited for what might come next.
Yeah, because, there's still a lot of, untapped Marvel stuff that hasn't come out of this. Obviously, we haven't seen, too much X-Men stuff just quite. You got Wolverine and Storm here.
Mystique.
Mystique is also in there as well. But, no Magneto, no Cyclops, no Beast, no Colossus.
Yeah, the list goes on. Iceman, you could literally have.
Right. And then, Fantastic Four, I'm sure will probably make their debut once as Fantastic Four get back in the good graces of the public eye with the MCU stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the future. Nintendo Direct. We had a partner Direct this last week.
Right, yeah. Nothing too big. There was a couple of things announced, but the things that really stand out to me, I don't know about you, but is the announcement of Control Ultimate Edition, which came out literally the day of the Direct here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a cloud-based game, which means that
you're streaming it.
You're streaming it off of a more powerful device onto your Switch here. Yeah. So it requires a constant internet connection. And Hitman 3 will also be coming to Switch as the same type of thing. So is this going to be the future, how Nintendo stays competitive with the next gen here, or stays in the loop here, so to speak?
Yeah, I think this is the way, if you want to get Mandalorian about it, which stay tuned because we're going to have our Mandalorian season 2 episode 1 review. But it was interesting because I didn't know that that's what it was. Even when I was watching the Direct, that was going to be a cloud game, or I didn't really understand what they were saying. So I went online and it was like, you could download it, but you have to, be streaming it basically. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder I'm more interested to see how it'll actually run.
Right, exactly.
If there is a Switch Pro, it's going to have more processing power, obviously, so it'll be able to do these kind of games much easier.
Well, there's also, I don't know how much you've looked into the whole streaming video games in terms of
I've heard. I know Stadia is doing it.
Yeah, Stadia is definitely doing it, but the main thing that I have heard of in terms of the issue is the latency. It takes a moment for actual button inputs to actually
register.
Go through. Register. But that being said, I've heard that is an issue that has been getting solved fairly quickly. So we'll see. This could be interesting, and I know it's not in the show notes, but apparently Resident Evil 3, the remake, is actually listed for cloud-based version, or like there was a leak about it here. So
interesting.
So we could be seeing that becoming the Switch as well here in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of, going back to the directs, do you remember the name of the deck building game in that one?
No, but I saw that. I'm like, that seems like a Brett game.
Yeah,
it's like
definitely looks
sci-fi,
interesting. Yeah. I would say that, and then we got to see, for whatever reason, we got a demo actually of
Age of Calamity.
Yeah, which I did play.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded it yet. How is that? Just kind of what you expect.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's nothing crazy. I'm not going to buy the game.
Fair enough. But also, they also showed No More Heroes, like
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. Yeah, 1 and 2 coming to Switch. Did it come out already, or
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, but then 3 is on the way. It's coming to 2021. It was supposed to come out this year, but
it's 2020.
Yeah.
Well, we got some news that a video game is going to be coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
Being as a show.
Live action, too.
Live action. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
This kind of came out of nowhere. It's just a teaser trailer, like where it just showed like the logo and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So
if you're into snazzy looking logos for TV shows, go ahead and watch it. Otherwise, yeah, there's really not much else there.
So, yeah, and apparently the company Ubisoft, they're going to be collabing quite a bit, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, some of their people are going to be serving as executive producers. And this will, as you said, probably be like, what they're saying is like this is going to be the first of many collaborations, which we already know that there's going to be a Splinter Cell animated show on Netflix, which is a Ubisoft property. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of like other things I could see happening, I could see like them making like a Rabbids kids show.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Also, I could see them doing maybe a Far Cry type thing here or something like that. Maybe Watch Dogs or something along those lines. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting just because, I mean, Netflix has been might be the new place for video game adaptations here. You have Castlevania, you got Dragon's Dogma, Devil May Cry is getting a show on there. I think there's a couple others that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but I could see this going both ways in terms of like quality wise. I mean, I think if Netflix gets super involved, which kind of seems like they might have a tendency to on some of their stuff, I think, and get involved in like the whole creative process, I think the show will suck if they do that, but we'll see.
Yeah, and with Netflix acquiring this, and they keep acquiring more things, they're just going to end up being a juggernaut, because I feel like, they already have Nickelodeon properties that they're, that they have access to, their own, like, original stuff, too.
Right. I mean, obviously Stranger Things and The Witcher.
Witcher, Cobra Kai.
I mean, and jury's still out on whether or not Avatar is actually going to be good. I mean, because
we don't know.
Because it sounds
the
like
property though is what I'm talking about.
Well, the property
owning the rights to it.
Property most definitely, but yeah, I mean, no, I think they're just they're like looking over at Disney Plus and they're like, okay, I see you over there. Yeah, I'll raise you.
Yeah, and they're actually going to be doubling down on anime too.
Yeah, so due to like the success of the anime being streamed on Netflix's platform, they're going to move to produce more anime for their streaming service. And according to their numbers, about this year, 100 million accounts have at least streamed one anime series, which I think they said was like up like 50% from like last year, which makes sense, COVID and all that here.
Yeah.
So Netflix has gone ahead and signed deals with anime studios to produce more original content. They currently have 11 projects on the works, and they're just going to keep adding to those projects with the new acquisitions or the new deals made with the studios. And then in the same vein, Sony is looking to buy Crunchyroll for almost $1 billion here.
Wow. I didn't think it'd be worth that much.
I didn't think so either, but apparently Crunchyroll, from what I was reading, they have like, I think 73 million users or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So go figure.
Yeah. Speaking of go figure, Oscar Isaac is potentially back in the MCU. It sounds like it's all but happening, and he's going to be playing Moon Knight, the new Moon Knight series on Disney+.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know nothing basically nothing about Moon Knight other than the fact that he's often referred to as Marvel's Batman. He's, I think, got like some type of like supernatural type of connection to like some old Egyptian god and stuff. And then he, prowls around at night, and that's about all I know here. I think he's also kind of crazy in the head or something like that.
Yeah, but Batman is too.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not denying that.
But yeah, this will be Oscar Isaac's third Marvel role.
Yeah.
So he was voiced Spider-Man 2099 in Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
He played Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse.
Such a great movie.
And he's going to be playing Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean,
it's a record.
It is a record, but yeah, but Oscar Isaac being involved does pique my interest. I mean, he was, I think, the best, one of the best parts of like the sequel trilogy in terms of like character wise and whatnot. So I'm excited to see, what this shapes up to be.
Yeah. And then, Matthew McConaughey recently came out and said he was actually trying to play Hulk in the MCU.
Which seems just like such an odd choice for Matthew McConaughey of all people here, But yeah, so apparently Mr. McConaughey approached Marvel. Not entirely sure if this was like when they were working on The Incredible Hulk or for the Avengers, But basically... he approached Marvel. Marvel basically passed on him, said no thank you, and that was pretty much the end of it here, which,
I'm okay with it.
Matthew McConaughey, great actor. I don't think Bruce Banner would have been the role for him here. I feel like, I don't know what Marvel role you would put Matthew McConaughey in. I mean, I could see him playing like
Hillbilly Joker.
Something, or I could see him playing like a pretty good...
In DC, but yeah.
I could see him... play like a pretty good villain somewhere along the lines. I feel like he's got the chops for that. But yeah, that's I just don't think Hulk would have been the right choice for him. I think Marvel was smart to pass on him instead of like trying to bank off like, big star name or something like that.
Yeah, I just don't see him playing Bruce Banner.
Me neither. No.
All right, well, we got some more news for that Snyder Cut coming out. That's looking to be about 12 hours long.
The greatest movie ever made.
12 hours long.
Yeah.
But Joe Magliano, he is coming back to resume his role as Deathstroke, which you wouldn't know that unless you actually knew that.
Yeah, I mean, unless you like actually remember.
He had his mask on at the end of.
Well, he took it off.
Did he?
Yeah, he took it off. Yeah, when he was talking with it, and it had like the worst like dye job for his white hair and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It looked terrible, but yeah. So if you remember, for whatever reason,
BVS,
the Justice League movie,
was it Justice League?
It was Justice League. Yeah.
Okay.
If you remember Justice League, and if you even stuck around to see like the end credit scene where he's talking to Lex Luthor at the very end, that guy is going to be coming back for some reshoots on the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
Which, why though? Because
I mean, yeah.
He only came at the end.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, right now this is just looking like this is going to be Zack Snyder's wish fulfillment movie for the DC EU here for the most part. It seems like all the plot threads that he was thinking about, like beyond Justice League and all this other stuff. He says like, okay,
I'm gonna put it all in this movie.
It's all gonna manifest in this movie.
Yeah.
And I just hate the fact this movie is getting so much more money thrown at it than it deserves here. You made BVS. You don't deserve a nickel after that movie here. That's like one of the worst comic book movies I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know who he schmoozed in order to make this happen, but
the fans apparently.
Even then, though, when has a movie studio ever been like, yeah, we're gonna throw millions and millions and millions of more dollars at a movie?
You're seeing it happen in real time.
I know that's what I'm saying. This is the only time that's happened.
I do not know here. I mean, I just think that let's say even if this movie does perform pretty well and like it's actually received well, which I highly doubt that either of those two things are going to happen. The thing is like this does set a precedent for saying like, hey, if you make enough noise,
It will happen.
It will happen.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll see. We'll see.
Star Wars.
Yeah, we'll see. That's exactly where I was going. Like
They won't do
episode
anything about
8
that, they won't.
of Star Wars game remade. We're gonna see Game of Thrones season 8 being remade.
That would make sense.
It's gonna be one of those here. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes.
Well, guys, we actually have stuff to review from here until whoever knows how long, because shows are actually coming back. Media is coming back in a general sense, and so
there's just more stuff stuff is coming out that we're actually interested in covering here and reviewing.
So today we have a comic book, a video game, and a TV show. So
Imagine that.
We're going to start with The Last Ronin.
Yeah.
For a roundtable review.
Yeah. So why don't you explain to the people at home what this is here?
Yeah. So The Last Ronin. So the original creators of Ninja Turtles are coming back to basically.
It's the OG guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had some help too, obviously, but Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird are reconnecting to make a sequel to all the Ninja Turtle stuff. Basically, it's set. It doesn't say exactly how long into the future. It's got to be decades though. Like it's definitely a futuristic. There's police robots, stuff like that.
Sure.
It's kind of shaping up to be something like The Dark Knight Returns for TMNT.
That sounds dope.
Yeah. There's only one turtle left. All the other brothers are dead.
Mm-hmm.
And they were killed about a decade before this takes place. So it's been a while. This turtle has been
on his own
for 10 years. Art is amazing. I think they did a great job with how that it definitely reminds me kind of a Franklin Miller vibe, but honestly cleaner.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that does make sense here, yeah.
So I think they nailed kind of the art style they're going for. It's very dark, it's edgy. There's, a turtle slicing up robots and going after this bad guy. Writing leaves you with lots of questions, but in a good way.
So intrigue, essentially. Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's issue 1 of 5.
Yeah.
So we're just getting into the beginning stages of...
Yeah, just the setup here.
Exactly. But yeah, well done writing. The fight between the Foot and the Turtles are very much still alive.
Yeah.
The main, antagonist is, running the Foot Clan at this point. I won't say too much about... It's not really a spoiler of who it is, but, the Shredder line still lives, you know. The lineage is still there, and then just this turtle, and if you guys haven't seen the art, it's pretty cool. Check out the cover. Maybe we could pop it up here on the screen or something.
I'll make sure that.
He's basically the turtle's wearing all black, has all his brother's weapons, and so it's I don't know, it's pretty cool, and you won't really believe you find out who the Last Ronin is at the end of the issue.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's the perfect pick. I'm not going to say who. I want to leave it as a spoiler-free kind of thing. Maybe once all of them come out, we could do a spoiler-filled.
Yeah, a spoiler cast or something like that.
Because you haven't read it either, right?
No, I am planning on picking it up because, this honestly sounds like a dope comic book. I'm not typically the person who likes to go and jump into comic books just because they continue storylines for years and years and usually are kind of disappointing for the most part or just outlandish and ridiculous. But if this is a 5-issue thing, I'm okay,
Yeah, and they're oversized books, so they're a little bit bigger than normal books and they're thicker. So it's not like a normal single issue.
Sure.
They're a pretty hefty amount of pages.
Yeah.
And there's some cameos in there, some callbacks to characters from the original series, and this might be hard to find though. You might have to pick it up digitally.
Really?
It's short printed.
I don't really mind that here, but I'll look around and see what I can find. But.
So I actually bought it because I actually got one. Luckily, I got one the day it came out, and I'm not touching it. I bought the digital version too.
Yeah, this seems like something that's right up my alley because some of my favorite comic books are Old Man Logan, which is at least initially when it came out, it was just a mini series or just a one shot run essentially. The Dark Knight Returns is one of them here, but I'm interested to see what this is. What this is going to be looking like here.
Yeah, but I really
definitely sounds cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. You know, let us know what you think. If you guys pick it up, who you like for the pick of the turtle who's left, and you know, it's just an interesting story, and the other turtles are still very much involved in a different way.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out. I highly recommend it. All right, so let's keep going, I guess.
Yeah. So lately I've been on a Resident Evil kick here, and I rented Resident Evil 3, the new remake that came out earlier this year. And I only played through the campaign only. I don't really have any interest in playing in the multiplayer because it's one of those you play as like 4 or 5 regular people, and then one person plays as like the super zombie or something that kind of thing. I don't know. I just don't really enjoy those all that much, so I'm not the right guy to review that here, to be honest with you. So, but I will talk about what I played it through in the campaign. So, for one, it is more action-oriented than horror-based for the most part here. There's like a lot more action set pieces, I would say. It still scared me, though, here. You know, there's definitely some jump scares in there. And honestly, I had a good time with it. I mean, if you liked the Resident Evil 2 remake that came out last year, you should definitely check this out. It's pretty much like the same vein. It's also taking place like at the same time as that game is taking place, but just in a different part of the city when the outbreak is happening. So it's a kind of a cool way to see a different angle on something that you already know. And then the nemesis that pursues you, at least like early in this game, I would say he's scarier than the tyrant that pursues you like throughout Resident Evil 2, just because he could like pop out of anywhere because he's like essentially completely superhuman. He jumps down like just when you're expecting him out of nowhere and just chases you all over the place. It's crazy. But I would say the graphics are on point. The atmosphere is great. My only problem with this game I can really speak to is it's too short. It's roughly only about 7 or 8 hours, and that was like on my first playthrough, and that wasn't me trying to like rush through it, and this was also not me like trying to like get every secret and nook and cranny per se here. I wish it was closer to, I don't know, roughly about 12 or 15 hours. And from what I've been hearing, because I haven't played the original version of this game, there's definitely like some cut content that, you know, kind of wish it would have made it in there. That way it actually would extend the playtime on this game. But bottom line, I had fun with this. I wouldn't recommend buying this game for $60. I would say either rent it or buy it on sale.
Nice. All right.
So let's get to the show.
Yeah, the steak.
Yep.
The main course.
Yep, exactly.
The thing we've been waiting for a whole year, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. So Mandalorian Season 2 is upon us. It's called Chapter 9, The Marshal.
The Marshal.
So
spoilers ahead.
Yeah, so
spoilers ahead.
So we're not going to get like too much into like a whole synopsis or like go through like a play-by-play on what happened in this episode. We're going to assume that either you already watched it or you don't care about the spoilers here. So,
right.
All right. You want me to start or do you want to start?
We can just go back and forth.
All right.
Sounds starting with what we kind of liked or enjoyed about the episode.
Yeah. So what I would say the opening scene in the world that it introduced us into, it's kind of felt like a little cyberpunkish a little bit, but basically, you know, you have those shadow dogs that are just lurking in the background. They don't like the light, so as long as you're walking like in the street lights,
you're good.
You're good here. And you see that later on when Mando is like interrogating that guy. He has him strung up by one of those lights by his feet, and after he's done with him, he just shoots out the light, and then that's it.
Yeah, you see the dog's eyes kind of come out. Yeah, it was really cool opening.
Yeah.
It kind of sets us on the adventure that we get the rest of the time of he's looking for other Mandalorians. This guy had information about where one might be on Tatooine.
Which turns out not so much. But
I mean,
kind of yes, kind of no here.
You know, you're going to think it's Boba because of the tease from last season.
Right.
And then it turns out to be this guy called the Marshal, played by Timothy Oliphant.
Yep. Which, I mean, I think that's one of the. I think that's one of the highlights of the episode for me. I think I liked his character. I like the concept of him. He's just like, yeah, I found this armor like in a Jawa like sandcrawler here. I traded some crystals for it, and I've been using it as a way to kind of protect the town from like people who would like to wish harm on it here essentially. So yeah, so pretty cool thing. And also he's got the pod racer bike, which I'm like,
that's pretty dope.
All right.
Yeah, it's like a single engine of a pod racer that he's mounted like something to it.
Yeah.
So you can sit on it and drive it around. Pretty sweet.
Yeah. But also in this episode, there are some good action scenes in there. Especially towards the end. I would definitely say like that's where it's kind of building up to. And also,
I mean, if you want hand-to-hand combat, I would say the fight at the fight. So there's like this. He's going to find this gangster guy. Basically, ends up fighting his henchman, and that's a pretty cool little hand-to-hand combat fight.
That most certainly is here. Yeah, and but then you get like a big monster fight because they're fighting what was it called, the crate dragon or something like that, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Basically, it's terrorizing the town, and they gotta take it out. I mean, definitely a very Western theme to this episode.
Very much so.
Just some gunslinger comes into town. The townspeople,
they're being terrorized by something,
and it's up to the wanderer to like basically make sure that it actually gets done essentially here.
Yeah, so kind of the way that this all got going was the Mando wants to meet the Marshal. The Marshal
thinking that he's a Mandalorian.
Thinking he's a Mandalorian, which you don't know. He walks in, you're like, oh, it's Boba.
Yeah,
because it's got Boba's armor.
Yeah,
like he bought it from the Jawas. Mando's pretty adamant about him taking the armor off because he's not a Mandalorian.
Mando is very culture appropriation at this point here.
Yeah, he's like, take that off, give it to me, and then kind of makes a deal with him like, hey, help me kill the crate dragon, and I'll give you the armor.
Yeah,
and and the episode happens,
and that's essentially the premise of the episode here. So. But also,
they tied in sand people as well.
They did. I mean, I did like the world building that they had with this here. I mean, we haven't really seen sand people as like, really anything else other than like, just like monsters and barbarians that just like to pick on the Skywalker people here.
Yep.
But that being said, and I think the other thing I would say that I like about this episode is the tease at the end here.
Yeah, so you're going through. You kind of start. At least I started thinking, wow, maybe Boba is dead, and maybe his armor got spat up. Then I remembered all the
casting and all.
Yeah, and so at the very end, you see this guy. It looked like he had like a bow or something weird on his back.
He had like a couple of things.
Yeah, and it turns around, and it's the actor who plays
Jango Fett here. So I mean. Gee, I wonder who that could be here,
So next episode, maybe not in the next episode, but, we're definitely going to get some Boba action in this season. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Getting into, like, what I don't like about this episode, Amy Sardis, is that how you pronounce her name?
I think it's Sedaris.
Either way, her character's annoying. Like I
mean, it was a cool little callback to last season, I guess.
Yeah, but I didn't even like her in last season here. I thought she was just
fine.
I thought she was just kind of hamming up her parts and all that.
She loves the child.
Well, right, and I mean, I think she reminds me of like a comedian a stand-up comedian that's like on stage at like a late comedy nightclub or something like that.
She could have been.
Who basically is like. Not really all that funny, but they keep insisting that they are kind of thing.
Right.
That's kind of like what it felt like.
I think it was cool because it showed Mandalorian's growth that he's not discriminatory against droids anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's like, no, the droids can. He's like, oh, you've grown a little bit.
Like, you can do a once over. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. So, So then also, by and large, this episode is not like a big shot in the arm to get like the story moving forward.
No.
This is kind of more or less like a by the books standalone episode for the most part, with a couple of plot points to push the overall narrative forward here.
Yeah, and it definitely shows Mandalorian's continuing to grow. There's a scene where the crate dragon's coming for him and the Marshal, and they have like the bantha and the like rigged with bombs.
Yeah.
and he hits his jetpack and he jettisons him out, and then he basically gets eaten for a sec and then explodes out of there.
Exactly, which I mean, yeah, super cool shot from there. But yeah, and so but you know, there wasn't much that really happened in this episode, even though it was about an hour long here. But
yeah, that was the other thing that was super surprising. So I actually looked at last season's runtimes to prepare for today.
Yeah.
And on average, they were about 35 to 40 minutes.
Roughly so, yeah.
You know, we had some episodes that were like right at 30.
Or like just pushing right under 50.
Right under 50. Yeah. And this one was 57 minutes, I think, is what it came in at.
I think this is the longest episode we've had of The Mandalorian so far. And, you know, I was kind of like, when I saw that runtime, I was thinking like, okay, there might be a lot happening in this episode, like, you know, pushing the plot forward. And didn't really quite happen that way here. So
no, I think it was to conclude the Marshal's first act of, you know, because he's going to come back, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, if season 1 is any indication, basically the people that you meet in those standalone episodes, they come back in some way, shape, or form. I mean, we'll still find out whether Bill Burr is going to be coming back.
That would be great.
That would be great, but.
Yeah, no Ahsoka tease or anything like that. We didn't get anything like that.
Nothing like that. But I mean, overall thoughts on this here. This is an entertaining episode. I mean, it's, you know, that happens to just be mostly standalone. I mean, you know, you're going to get some good action out of it, but it seems to be setting up something big for the next episode, or hopefully the next episode,
or maybe, I mean, it could be teased the end of the season, towards the end of the season, maybe an altercation he has with Boba.
Yeah,
because now the Mandalorian does have his armor.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm sure he wants it back. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So yeah, he didn't have any armor on when he was in the scene. It looked like at least he didn't have a helmet, obviously, because we wouldn't be able to tell who he is.
But yeah, no. So we will get Boba coming back as canon in this new. Star Wars universe that Disney has created. So
yeah,
I mean, so, you know, decent episode, not amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't grade it quite yet, just based on, I mean, you know, we don't know what the rest of the season is going to look like.
Well, we don't know how it's going to play into like everything else here per se. Yeah, I mean,
if I had to, I'd probably say like 7.5.
That's roughly where I feel like maybe 7, 8, roughly somewhere around there. If I was gonna give it,
it's a little slower.
It is a little slower. I mean, I think one of the things that does play a detriment to this episode is just the runtime. I felt like if it was like maybe a little bit shorter or something like that, and a little bit tighter, I might have liked it a little bit better. But, you know, still a good episode. It makes me wonder, like, how long are the episodes in this season going to be here? If we're just throwing out roughly about an hour of runtime just for like one episode that's mostly standalone here, it kind of makes me wonder if that's going to be more of the norm, or if this is just kind of an exception to the rule.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like they're going to stick under that hour no matter what. Maybe except for the season finale.
Yeah, I could see them going further for the season finale. We'll see.
Yeah. But that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Check us out. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our podcast. Get notifications.
Subscribe to all the things.
Just all the things.
Yeah.
Have an awesome week. And remember, everyone's a nerd about something.